Okay, good afternoon everybody. I hope you had a good weekend, right?
Yeah.
Good weekend? That's good, that's good. Okay, so this is, wow, some people look happy. That's good. So it means nobody's hungry, right? Nobody's hungry? I'm not hungry. Alright, so this is the last part of this chapter, right? So remember the first part, we saw a little bit pre-conception nutrition. I don't really go a lot into details. So today we look at nutrition during lactation very quickly, the second part that we saw last week. And today I spend most of the time on maternal health and also infant health. I told you about the 3 diseases we're going to see, right?
Yeah.
Alright, everybody remembers?
Hypertension.
Hypertension. Diabetes.
Fetal alcohol syndrome.
Fetal alcohol syndrome. Diabetes, which one?
Gestational.
Gestational diabetes. Now, gestational diabetes, it's another form of type 2 diabetes. I'll explain a little bit in a minute. Okay. Just remember that we have a full chapter on diabetes later on, so don't worry so much about it. Okay. So I'll just show you a little bit what we have. Quickly, I hope you read the PPT, right? Everybody read the PPT? All right, that's good. So the advantage of reading the PPT before, when you come to class, then we can just move a little bit faster. I'm going to plug this thing here. All right, so here you just have the different benefit of breastfeeding. Like I told you a couple of times ago, it is recommended to breastfeed at least how many months? Yes, 6 months, right? Yeah, this is the minimum requirement from the World Health Organization, and we'll go through it today. Okay, so now I have a little problem here. I don't want my chalk. All right, so here you have the composition, the composition of the breast milk that is made of. Peter, do you think you can get me some extra chalk quickly? I think what is missing here. Yeah. All right, so the main composition will be water and fat, right? And we're going to spend a little bit of time on it as we talk about the energy. Remember when we studied the nutrients, what did we learn? We knew that we don't have any energy from what? Water, right? So this means that we'll be focusing on what? On the fat part. Okay? And if you read your PPT, you'll see how I did the calculation. And if it is confusing for you, we do that again this afternoon. Alright? Okay. So breast milk composition, mainly of what? 2 elements, water and fat. Okay. The dominant carbohydrate in human milk, we studied that a little bit a while ago. As you know, is the lactose. Alright? As you know, the lactose is a combination, it's a disaccharides. Combination of what? Glucose and what? How do you get the lactose? Glucose and what? Galactose. I started to worry a little bit. Exam is coming. Alright? Everybody should know it by now, right? Okay, so I will not focus so much on protein casein. We'll see that when we look at the other chapter. And we'll go on the details of it. Now, this is the part I would like us to look at a little bit. Alright? What did we say? We say, okay, now that we are expecting a baby, it means that the mother needs more energy than before. If you look at the previous table, what do you have? It's okay, if you have normal weight, maybe you have to gain around 11 kilograms, right? But this 11 kilograms, we're talking about what? Energy, all right? So what do we have? Thanks for that, Peter. So what do you have here? We have 500 extra kilocalories that we need daily. Okay? So during the first and second 6 months of lactation, what is happening? Why? Okay? So what we have here is every time the mother is making 100 milliliter of milk, all right, she actually losing 85 kilocalories. You guys follow, right? So we have here 100 milliliter of milk. Okay, okay? And then I'm losing what? 85 what? Kilocalorie. Okay? So really pay attention to this part. Now, it's not the same for everybody, as we know. Everybody's different. Body size is often different, right? From one person to another person. Okay? But what are we having here? We say average. It's like, in this class, what did we say? We say, how much energy do we need every day? Average.
2,000.
2,000, right? It depends. I mean, but we all agree that it's around 2,000, right? Let's just all agree on that. It's the same way we kind of agree, okay, that we say, okay, on average, milk production every day is around what? 750 milliliter per day. Okay? Let's say average. How much milk she's going to be making every day? You follow? Alright. So what does it mean? So we have here 100 milliliter of milk, 85 kilocalories that we're losing. But in this case, what do I have? Let's say I have 700 what? Milliliter of milk. Okay? This is for 1 day. Okay, okay? Alright. So, how much energy am I going to need then? Alright? So we have here 750. So what do? We do 750 milliliter of milk, right? So what we just do is we multiply by 85 kilocalorie, we divide by 100 milliliter. Why? It's the simple rule of, if I ask myself the question, how much energy X do I need every day? Look at it again. 100 milliliter of milk, I spend 85 kilocalorie per day. Okay? Alright? Now, if I make 750 today, how much energy am I losing? Okay, how much energy I need? So when I say energy losing, I mean energy out. I need that energy, right, to make 750 milliliters of milk. So we just do the simple mathematical rule, right? You guys studied this in high school, right? Right? So we want to know X, alright? So it's basically 100X. So you are 100X gives you what? 85 by 750. So X will give you 85 by 750 divided by 100. And then the answer is what? 637. Alright? Did you guys do this?
Yep.
Sometimes I make mistakes, right? Did you guys do? Okay, so I have 637 what? kilocalorie per day. Okay? Per day. All right. Everybody's happy? We understand, right?
Yep.
Okay. So now let's move. Let's move now. Remember the title I put here. We're talking about the first 6 months. And what did I say? We need to breastfeed for minimum 6 months. So I'm talking, now we have to think about the energy, okay? The energy reserve for the next 6 months. We think about the mother's diet, we think about her energy, and we think about what she has to give to the child. Okay? All right. So good. We have that one. We have that one down. Can I erase this? Good? Everybody's good?
Yes.
All right. So now, let's go to this page. Just keep in mind what I said before, that we need extra 500 kilocalories a day. This is what I said, that we need around 500, but it's not always, it's not set on stone. Okay? It may, plus or minus 500. The same way we talk about 2,000. All right? So, okay, so then, when you look at here, what did I put here? Deposited fat. Remember, what did I say? What are the two main elements of breast milk? What do you have in the breast milk?
Water and fat.
Water and fat. So, I'm not talking about the water part because we already know that, no energies. This is why I focus on the fat part. Okay? You follow, right? Alright, so now, deposit fat in pregnancy, okay, will provide the following calories. So we have average around 3,000 grams of fat, okay? So now, during that 6 months, so we have now this energy from fat. So how much do we have? We have around 3,000 grams of fat. Okay? 3,000 grams of fat gives me how many kilocalories?
27,000.
Yeah, so what do? We multiply by what?
9.
By 9, and how much do we get? 27,000 kilocalories. Okay? Alright. Number 2, I put if fat deposit I utilize, meaning if I use it, okay? If I use it in the first 6 months, right? Okay, guys, 1 month is around 30 days. Some days have 31, other days have 27 or 28. And let's just say 30, right? Let's not play smart about it. Let's just say 1 month is what, 30 days? And we're talking about 6 months. So it's how many days? 180 days. Okay? So we're going to do our calculation for 180 days lactation. 180 days lactation means that the mother is breastfeeding for 180 days. Every single day. Okay? Okay, every single day. So then daily energy extracted from the stores, meaning energy from, right, the mother, right? Extracted, we remove from the mother. What is it going to be? Because we have 3,000 grams of fat, 27 kilocalories. This is total energy for 6 months. So how much energy for 1 day that we get from the mother then? Yeah, because this energy is for, this energy, you can do 27,000 kilocalories is for how many days? 180 days. Okay? But I want to know for what? For 1 day. Alright? So for 1 day, we still have the same equation, x. Okay? So we have 180x give me 27,000 kilocalorie by 1 day. So X, 27 divided by 80, how much do I get there? 150 what? Kilocalorie per day. The question is, where did you get 500 kilocalorie extra energy? Why do you say 500 kilocalorie energy? Okay? Let me come back here to revisit my statement. My statement was we need 500 kilocalorie additional energy for the, in addition to the normal energy every day from the mother. This is what we said. And then we say, how do we come up with it, right? Okay, so now what do we have? I think there's like a little thing here. I put 0.5, but we can stop at 37, 637, right? So now what do we do? I have 650 kilocalorie per day. Okay? So by subtracting 150 kilocalorie from 637, right? The additional daily energy that I need during the first 6 months of lactation will be around 500. How? Let's come back. Average milk production. Average milk production for 1 day, how much energy is required? How much energy do we need? Around 637. Alright? Everybody's happy? Okay. So then, if we keep going, so then we just like, okay, we have the reserve, so I do 637 minus what? Around 150, how much do we get?
400.
400 what? 87, right?
Yeah.
So we have 487 kilocalories. So the 487 kilocalories, is not far from the 500 kilocalorie actually that we need. This is why we say that the mother needs around 500 kilocalorie. Happy or not happy? Understand? Some people don't look happy. I'm happy. So, it's not exactly, we cannot always have 500, for everybody. Okay? It's okay. We need exactly around 500. Okay? Here, when I do the calculation, it gives us like 487, which is not far from the 500 if you calculate it. And you take like a rounded number. Just remember that this one is a general statement. Okay? So I can play with the number and just say, oh, we need 3,000 or 2,800 or 3,200, okay, to have the perfect 500. All right? So you visit again chapter 2, then you understand, we check the food habits of the mother and make sure that we have that energy consumption. Now, question. As you know, my first statement, what did I say? Milk production, daily milk production, is not the same for everybody. Right? Everybody's different, right? Some people are big, some people are smaller. Right? Am I right or not?
Yeah. Right.
Okay, so talk to me. So now tell me, do you think, now we're going to start looking at the babies, okay? We say, okay, the mother needs this energy because she needs to breastfeed the baby for the next 6 months, okay? So now, we have two mothers. There is one that is very small, and there is another one, we can say that is normal size or bigger. Okay? So we have two mothers. So we have mother A, she's small, right? She's a smaller lady, okay? And then we have mother B, let's just say that, should I say normal? Or let's just say she's bigger, okay? So, meaning that because she's bigger, she has more fat storage, right? Meaning what? More energy, okay? So, if you look at the breast size of the two mothers, so this one will have more storage, meaning maybe more milk if you want to, because she has more fat, okay? Now question, mother B and mother A both have children. Now we are talking about breastfeeding the child. The woman who has a smaller size, what do you think of her child? Will her child have problem in terms of feeding? Will the child have enough milk compared to this woman? Let me put it this way. The word that we learned was malnutrition, or in this case, undernutrition. Okay? So do you think that the child from the mother A will be undernourished? Child of mother A, will she be undernourished? Yes or no? What do you think?
No.
Okay, who says no? Alberto? Explain. Why?
It's not depends on the size of the lemons.
Yeah.
It actually depends on how they eat each day.
Okay, explain more. How they eat each day, what does it mean?
Like if they get the enough food, enough nutrition per day, it doesn't matter if they are big or they're small. It just depends on what they eat. Or
Okay, so as a nutritionist, if you meet a mother, this is a very good point, right? Listen to what Alberto says. Now, if you're a nutritionist, a mother comes to see you, she worries. She says, oh, I'm small. I don't think that my baby is fed well because I'm a small lady, so I really worry. What would you say? What would you advise her? Keep your thinking process. You know, your thinking process was good, right? Because we do apply nutrition, so we have to think about solutions. We have to think about how we respond to people and how we give the right answer to people. Because your thinking is good, okay? You know, his thinking is actually good. But how will you explain that to her?
so,
Yeah.
lady, don't worry. I know it's important how much you score, but from now on you can't start just, and you have good nutrition a day per day.
Yeah.
You try to be like best, your best, and so what you eat each day is so important. So I recommend you to eat something like well-organized nutrition meal per day.
Okay.
So I'm gonna give you some like papers. That's it.
All right, not bad. Helium, what would you say to the lady? You must know this one, right? If the lady comes to you, I bet you thank you. The first part of our development is actually good. The first answer is, there is no problem. It should not be a worry because the woman has a smaller size, okay? It should not be a problem at that time. But then, what is happening with the nutrition of her baby? Because that lady, you know, she's worried that, hey, I'm small, so I don't think my baby will have enough milk. You know, for example, if they say, oh, breastfeed your baby 3-4 times a day, or things like that, you're just like, oh my gosh, you know, will I be able to do it? Ariel, what will you say? What is the answer? What will you say?
Having more
Yeah. Did you hear what she said? So, second part of your answer, to complete what Alberto just said, that smaller lady should just breastfeed more often. You understand what I mean? For example, people like me who are skinnier, if I want to be bigger, most people eat 3 times a day. Maybe I have to eat 5 times a day. So I can have much energy in a reserve. It is the same thing. Okay? So, because the meat production is ongoing, right? Based on what you were saying, and based on the nutrition, and based on following chapter 2, the principle of diet planning. Okay? So for that baby, the mother just needs to breastfeed more frequently. Okay? I hope everybody got it right. You got it right? You got the 2 aspects, right?
Yep.
Okay. So, alright, let's move on now. Let's move on to the last part of this chapter, maternal and infant health. Okay? This is the part where we will talk about some of these diseases. Wait, Moria, you want to go home now? This is interesting. What time is it? We still have a lot of time. We're just starting. Okay. All right. So, Onso, you want to go home? You want to stay, right? This is the best class on campus. You guys know that, right?
Yep.
Yeah. This is, everybody must take this class. This is the best class. Oh, Miss Chen, you're not okay with me. She just put her head on the Come on. You're not okay. Okay? Yeah, okay. Best class on campus. Okay, let's finish the last part. Maternal and infant health. Okay? Guys, very important. I mentioned this aspect to you guys. I'll just go over it, some of the things quickly, but the other part we go into details. When we look at preconception nutrition, what did I say? I said we have to be careful using some medical drugs. Like if you use medicine, you have to make sure that it's prescribed by the medical doctor. Also the risk associated with illicit drugs. Alright? But today, I will focus on some disease, but I will come back into things such as caffeine. Because as you know in Korea, most of you guys are coffee lovers, right? And what did I say? This is me. I actually think that before the baby comes along, we have to prepare minimum 2 to 3 years process, right? Because we have to change our food habit, okay? Now, moderate intake, we say that moderate intake causes no problems. Oh, I did not check. Somebody asked me about the caffeinated coffee. No, he was not here. Causes no problem for most breastfeeding infants and mothers. Okay? This is, in literature, what people say. So I have to put that statement to you guys. But my take of it is a little bit different. Because now, we are talking about breastfeeding. Alright? The reality of it, alright, is that there is a level of caffeine that is going into the breast, right? And consequently, that may interfere with sleep and cause the baby to be hyperactive, alright? So, the baby may actually be fussy and you may not understand what's going on, alright? So personally, this is me. I actually think that, if you can avoid coffee, it's probably the best. Alright? It's probably the best. So, but I know that, how much, how many cups, and it's always subject to debate, and people's body composition is often different. Alright? So I'm just like, if people are not sure, maybe just stay away. If you're not sure of something, just stay away from it. Okay? So that's just my take on that one. Of course, there's always the problem associated with HIV/AIDS, but it's not another class when you talk about some of the infections that may be associated with the mothers. It's not for another time. Okay. Smoking, very important. I'll come back to that one. Smoking reduces milk volume. Okay? Smoking reduces milk volume. Will cause the baby to sleep less. And what did I say the other day? Even passive smoking. Alright? You go downtown Daegu with your friends, even though you don't smoke. Okay? If your friends are, oh, what's going on? Our friends are smoking? Oh my gosh. Alright, so if your friends are smoking, it's the same thing. Okay? Yeah, don't laugh. That's true, man. Your friends are smoking, that's passive smoking will actually have the same effect. Alright? So this is why I told you guys it's a serious thing. Basically, when a baby is born healthy, it's a miracle. All of you guys are a miracle, right? So you should thank your mom and dad. Everybody is healthy and good looking. Because as we see some of these problems, we understand that it's not easy to have a healthy baby. Especially with all the environmental factors that we don't talk so much about, even environmental contaminants, all right? Industrial pollutions and things like that. Now I would like to talk about hypertension. All right, very important here. Okay, we talk about problem with miscarriages, and when we talk about high blood pressure, okay, oftentimes, when you will take it, you will have, when you have this value, in terms of blood pressure, 140 millimeter per mercury systolic, and the diastolic one over 90. So then we know we have our blood pressure. And again, I believe in chapter 7, we have a full chapter on high blood pressure. So I'll go in details into what is high blood pressure and what is taking place. But for now, let us just know the numbers that tell us that we have a problem. Okay? And believe it or not, a lot of ladies will die at the hospital because of blood pressure. Okay? So this is not something funny. Alright? And what else do we learn? Remember the picture of obesity. Alright? And this is when we talk about gestational diabetes and type 2 diabetes, right? The picture of obesity tells me what? That obesity, give us a higher risk of developing blood pressure. So guys, when you look at it, how does it look like? What did I tell you? If a woman is obese, we don't want her to gain much weight or when she wants to be pregnant, right? If you look at the table. But now what is taking place here, everybody still remember this picture, right? We have obesity here, and we have the problem of high blood pressure, and we have the risk of developing what? Type 2? Type 2 diabetes, okay? Of course, atherosclerosis and some cancer, all right? So keep that picture in mind. We said, oh, she needs to gain weight, she needs energy, all right? But now, there's a risk with excess of energy that can be associated with problem of blood pressure, okay? And this problem of high blood pressure, oftentimes, we have the risk of losing the motor, not working. Okay, so here, what did I put? These affect 6 to 10% of pregnancies. This is a big number, right? So it means that if I count 10 ladies at the hospital, they all came to see a doctor, one of them has a problem. It's a big number. So this is not, a joke, right? So if a woman comes out of the hospital healthy with a baby, it's really a miracle. We should thank God, right? That's not easy. So, and it contributes to what? Stillbirth. We talk about it, right? Some of the baby are born and they just die a couple times after. Okay? So, and fetal and newborn death, we talk about this neonatal death where the baby doesn't actually survive. Okay? So, we talk about what? Gestational diabetes. I'll talk about it in a minute. And in this case, we talk about gestational hypertension, or in this case, pregnancy-induced hypertension. Which means that she had that problem only when she became pregnant. Okay? So it's something that we have to do. So, and sometimes now, we no longer use this word, we're not saying hypertensive disorders of pregnancy. This is the common word, expression that you're going to encounter when you go to the hospital. Alright? So, hypertensive disorder of pregnancy is the leading cause of maternal mortality. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I'll put it in red, which means it's very important to understand. Alright? So I put here, that's the leading cause of maternal mortality, meaning that when we hear that, oh, this woman passed away, she died at the hospital, most of the time it will be because of this gestational hypertension. Alright? So the importance, once again, of having a well-planned diet and have, a better lifestyle in terms of what we put in our body. Alright? Okay?
Yep.
Alright, so now let's talk about diabetes. We have a full chapter on diabetes, so I will not spend a lot of time on it, but I will explain to you how it works, basically, based on the food that we eat. Alright? A very simple definition of diabetes is what? What is diabetes? Can anybody tell me in a very simple definition of diabetes? What is it?
So much glucose in the blood.
Yeah, if you tell your grandmother too much glucose, you may not know what is glucose, right?
Sugar.
Yeah, very simple. Very simple. Here, diabetes, we having excess of sugar in the blood. Okay? Very simple way. And when I say gestational diabetes here, what I'm saying here is she did not have diabetes before she was pregnant. Okay? She was okay. And during pregnancy, as the food habits are probably also changing, as she's probably gaining weight, right? She now has excess of sugar in the blood. What is happening here? I will show you this picture, and don't worry, because we have a full chapter on diabetes. It's a subject that I spend a lot of time kind of teaching. This is what is happening to us every day. When we eat, everybody has this picture, right?
Yeah.
All right. So when we eat, what is happening is the blood glucose level goes up. Okay? So then what happened? So now we having, what do we have? What do we have now? Sugar in the blood, right? But we don't want too much sugar in the blood. Our body is a nice organized machine. Okay? So then what happens is the pancreas will be making this guy that we call insulin. Okay? For everyone who took all the nutrition class with me, what is insulin job? What is the insulin job? A very simple job description for insulin. What is insulin job? What is insulin job? Yeah, this part. What is insulin job? Yeah. So now, understand this picture. Sugar level is going up, right? Based on what we've been eating. So the body has to fix the problem. It calls out the pancreas, who will be producing the insulin. So insulin job will be what? To help lower the sugar level. Okay? So how does it do it? How does it do it? Yeah, Miss Chen, I don't hear you. But how does it do it?
Put glucose into muscles and the cells.
Very good. So then we transfer this sugar. Remember, we need sugar. We need that energy. So now we're moving the sugar where, we go to our muscle cells. Goes to the liver. But something is also taking place here in the liver. Guys, look at the legend here. The blue is the glucose. Okay? The yellow here is the insulin. I'll talk about the glucagon in green in a minute. And then we have the glycogen here, which is a storage. Okay? We have a lot of glucose put together. When we look at the picture of the carbohydrates, I think you guys still remember, right? We talked about the polysaccharides. Okay? So we have some type of reserve here in terms of glycogen here in the liver place. I didn't speak much about it, the problem we call steatosis, especially for people drinking a lot of soju. Okay? So now, when the sugar moves to these different places, everything is okay. Okay? It may happen that, now, if you look at the southern part of the picture, what is happening here? Sugar level is now very low. Okay? Sugar level is low. When sugar level is low, we call our good friend, the pancreas, to release this guy, glucagon. Okay? Alright, so now, what is the glucagon's job? A very simple job description. Anybody? It will help do what?
Increase.
Yeah. So you're just gonna do the opposite. Okay? Alberto, you look lost. You're okay?
Opposite what? Like
Opposite of the insulin.
so increase sugar level.
Yeah. The flesh should be like up, right? How does it do it? That should be the question, right? Here, yeah. Question?
No, keep going.
Keep going. All right. So now remember, now we have these reserves, right? So what do we just do? We just break them down. You look at me like Superman. I must be like a movie star or just like yeah. But anyways, we have a full chapter. We have a full chapter on this. But I'm just going to focus on diabetes quickly. We have a full chapter on diabetes. So I'm not going to spend so much time on this part. So we have, even after class, we can discuss more. Okay? So then, the body is well balanced again. Alright? So the insulin and the glucagon will have opposite jobs here. Still mediated by the pancreas. Okay? So what is happening here? What is happening is, this woman, before pregnancy, did not have a problem of blood glucose. She didn't have a problem. And after pregnancy, now we're having problem here. And I'll explain more in details later on when we talk about insulin resistance, when we study the chapter on diabetes. Okay? So for now, just relax a little bit. Okay, everybody understand gestational diabetes? She didn't have diabetes before, and now she's pregnant. Beep, 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 you have some alarm, and we cannot control the sugar level that much anymore. Insulin is no longer working properly, okay? So, if you have too much sugar in the blood, it means what? It means, insulin is not doing the job, okay? Insulin is not doing the job, and then we have accumulation of sugar. But I will explain to you later what is happening with the insulin and why the insulin is not doing the job. But for today, let's just focus on disease. Okay, guys? The last one. So we look at high blood pressure, we look at gestational diabetes, okay? We mentioned three types of diabetes. Type 1, mostly happen to children with very young, 10% of the cases. And then the type 2 diabetes and gestational 1, pretty much like the same. Okay, the last one is fetal alcohol syndrome. Guys, this is a part that I would like you guys to fully understand, specifically in Korea, where, as you know, drinking is just part of the culture, right? Drinking is part of the culture, and if you don't drink, you actually look bad. Okay? Now, the fetal alcohol syndrome, I would like to tell you one thing. There is no cure for this one. Understand? But we can prevent it by having, better food habits. If you look at the picture here, when these children are born, they are born with some, you see that the head is smaller, the forehead is narrow, okay? You see like the jaw that is not fully developed, all right? So you can actually see the problem with the eyes, and if you are careful, it's possible that you meet some people like that. What does it mean? And this is what I would like you to understand. Sometimes a lady can be pregnant and she doesn't know, right? It's possible that, she's pregnant, but she doesn't know. It's been already 1 month, 2 months, and then she's like, to ask her friend, I don't know. Okay, let's go check with the doctor. And when they go check with the doctor is telling her, but you've been 2 months pregnant now. Okay? But the problem of fetal alcohol syndrome starts the first month of pregnancy. Okay? Very important to understand that we can prevent it. This is why my theory has always been like, if people want to have baby, they have to prepare ahead of time. Just like clean up everything. And then we ask the question, how many drinks? Trust me, even 1 drink a day is too much. 1 drink a day is enough to change, right, how this baby will look like. So again, thank your parents. Everybody's beautiful here. So these are something that we have to keep in mind. And I put here, even 1 drink a day may threaten neurological development and behaviors. So these children at school, they will be like slow learners, right? They will have difficulties, okay? On top of having all these physical challenges, all right? So these are something that we have to keep in mind. And again, I just say that to you guys, the first 1 to 2 months of pregnancy are critical periods and alcohol exposure. Now, what did I say? The problem or the challenge here is I did not talk a lot about men, but I mentioned that the responsibility is also to men as well, who drink a lot. And we talk about the problem of fertility when we started the chapter in both sides for men and women. And also understand that not only the men alcohol ingestion, men who drink too much, okay, may be affected in terms of their fertility and what? Fetal development. So it's not only the woman. Okay? So it's really both partners, so that when we advise people, then people they must understand why we say excess of alcohol is not good. Okay? We don't just say it because we hate people who drink alcohol, but if people think of having healthy children, maybe they have to change their lifestyle. Okay? Maybe they have to change their lifestyle. And that's the part that is very important. I still have 5 minutes, but I would like to present to you a very important thing related to alcohol, and I spent a lot of time on alcohol. Right? Actually, I have 15 minutes. I always finish 10 minutes earlier for you guys. It's a very important chapter. We got to close it today. As we close it today, there is something important I want you to understand. Everybody, most people drink alcohol, right? Most young people drink alcohol. But I would like to show you a very, interesting graphic here. First of all, what did I say? Alcohol and lactation. Now I'm talking about the mother, all right? The mother has a baby. She's happy. Let's go downtown, Daegu, UP, and drink some alcohol, okay? And then she will breastfeed later. Alcohol consumption, all right? Alcohol consumed quickly passes to the breast milk level of alcohol in breast milk is the same as maternal plasma. Maternal plasma, we're talking about remember, placenta at the beginning, all this transfer. But now, it's not through the breast. Okay? Fetal alcohol syndrome, the placenta part, we're talking about it. But now, the baby is born, we think that, oh, it's over, I can drink my soju now. Bing! No. No. This is why I told you guys, it's a 2 to 3 years process if you have to breastfeed 6 months. Very important. Alright, so, now, what am I saying here? Peak plasma level occurs at 30 to 60 minutes. What does it mean? Look at here. We have this, okay? You are going downtown Daegu. What time do you guys usually start drinking? 9 p.m. or 10 p.m.? 9 p.m.? 6 p.m.? Oh my God. Wow. Peter.
Not me.
Not you, I mean, who else?
I used to.
Oh, you used to? Oh, boy. Okay, let me be nice. Let's say 8 p.m. Come on, 6 p.m. No. All right. We put 6 p.m. here. 6 p.m. is the starting time. Nah, come on. 8 p.m. All right. Let's say 6 p.m. we eat some meat and everything. All right. All right. Okay. So let's say we all go downtown. Our friend just had a baby. We're happy. Whatever. Maybe 3rd month of pregnancy, right? No. Third month, the baby has 3 months. We all happy. We go downtown, right? Okay. So now here is what? Here is 8:30. Okay. So another 30 minutes. So now we have what? 9 p.m. Okay. And then we have what? 9:30. So here is what? 60 minutes, right? 60 minutes plus 90. And then we have what? 120. And then 180. Alright. So basically 108 minutes is like what?
Is it 115?
150 here. And then 180. 180, right? 180 minutes is how many hours of drinking?
3 hours.
3 hours of drinking in Korea, is it a lot? It's not a lot? Alberto. Miss Park is laughing. It's not a lot? Not a lot? Alright, but I'm giving you 3 hours. Alright? So what is happening here? You take your first drink. You take your first drink at 8 p.m. Okay? So you don't feel the alcohol is not very high yet. Okay? But then, what did I put here? Peak plasma level occurs at 30 to 60 minutes. So now we thought, okay, alcohol is getting to our body here. So 60 to 30 minutes, the peak is here. And you know, if you study pharmaceutics, at one point of time, you will go to the toilet and eliminate a bit of alcohol, but not all of it. Okay? All right, and then, so you go through elimination, some alcohol is going out. But the peak is here, if you want. But if you take your first drink at 8 p.m., after how many minutes are you going to take the second drink? After 5, 10 minutes, 20 minutes? What? Tell me the truth. I'll show you something.
5, 10 minutes.
5, 10 minutes later? Alright, so 5, 10 minutes later, I'm being nice, so I'll go 20 minutes later. So 20 minutes later, so you take another drink here. So 30 minutes later, we have now another concentration here. Alright? So you take another one 30 minutes later, and then you take another one. So if you look at here, I'm not even here yet. So between 30 minutes and even 60 minutes, even 30 to 90 minutes, we have all this concentration of alcohol in the body that is not outside of the body. Because the peak, it keeps on going, and then you start just feeling a little bit dizzy. This is how we become drunk, right? So now, when she breastfeeds the baby, there are two things that are happening here. Not only the breast milk will smell alcohol, okay, and also the baby will have a bit of it. All right? So the alcohol is going to decrease the volume consumed by the baby. Now, remember the first example that I gave? I told you, oh, if she's a small lady, oh, no problem, just frequent feeding. But in this case, that baby, will the baby suffer of undernutrition, yes or no? If the baby has a mother who drinks alcohol, will the baby have enough milk, yes or no? No. Why? Exactly. Because alcohol is going to decrease the volume consumed by the baby. Right?
Volume of what?
Of milk. Right? Because we're talking about lactation here, right? Alright? And also that will change, like I told you, the sleeping pattern of the baby. Alright? That may also change the sleeping pattern of the baby. This is why we have to really be careful. But I know some people will try to be smart about it and just say, oh, I just took a small drink and everything, and go from there. Alright? So remember, the smoking part, even passive smoking, will affect the volume. Alright? The drinking will affect it, and the drinking prior to the baby born may neurologically affect the baby. This is what we call fetal alcohol syndrome. Okay? Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to close this chapter. We're done with this chapter. We'll go through the study guide on Wednesday morning. Wednesday morning is actually going to be pretty short. I will give you like the study guides. We'll just try to do some exercise. There are maybe parts that I did not cover in class, and sometimes the study guide can help us by studying more. So Wednesday morning at 9, we'll review the whole thing. The chapter was like in 3 parts, and it was a little bit long. But I told you it was going to take 2 weeks, right? And now, the last chapter we're going to see before the exam will be on infant and adolescent nutrition, the adult as well, and we'll finish with older people nutrition. Okay? Okay guys, have a nice day, and if you have questions, I'll be standing here, and always a pleasure to serve you. Alright? Bon appétit. Yeah, same. It cannot be exactly, just like this is generally it's like we say, oh, how much we need? Around 2,000 kilocalories. So if you have 1.9 or 2.2, you can tell. So I made this calculation to show you like this number, and this is like PCT. This is why we say this. Okay?
Yes. And this is on woman when doesn't pregnancy or she is pregnancy, she
diabetes.
Diabetes.
Yeah. So you go men, observe. No, not men. Only women. Type 1, type 2, everybody. Now, gestational diabetes, before the woman, diabetes observed. Now that she's pregnant, she eats a lot, and maybe she eats a lot of carbohydrates, whatever. Then problem with sugar. Sugar goes up. Then doctor say, oh, sugar is up. Then what is the problem? Diabetes.
This problem is known because the problem.
Yeah.
Pregnancy.
Here, small woman, no problem. She must, here, she must breastfeed more frequently, many times. Yeah, many times. Okay. If she breastfeed many times, no problem. Yeah. So small breast, no problem. Many times. It's like I say, if I'm small and I want to be big, I have to eat not 2 times, not 3 times, maybe 5 times. So I have more energy. Something. Yeah. Understand? All right. Finish. All right. Bye bye. Hello. How are you?
So